Hello all, welcome to another session. In this session, we'll be taking a look at Cassandra query language. First, we'll see how to create and alter key spaces in Cassandra. And then we'll understand how to create and alter tables. We'll also write some basic queries that will insert, select, update, and delete records on tables. And then we'll understand the various collection data types in Cassandra, namely set, lists, and maps. We'll understand all these things by writing some queries, and the prerequisite for this is you should have Cassandra up and running in your systems. Okay, now let's go to the demonstrations. We will now take a look at running some of the simple commands in Cassandra. First, we'll create a key space, we'll alter the key space. Then we'll look at how to create a table, insert records, delete records, create indexes, drop indexes, and viewing all the tables inside a key space and so on. So now let's start with creating a key space by name VIT. So it's create key space VIT with replication is equal to, we have to give the class, we'll use the class as simple strategy here because we are going to just use one data center, and replication factor should be in quotes. We'll give the replication factor as 3. It means that data should be replicated within 3 nodes in the data center. So our key space is created. We can view this key space by giving the command describe VIT. So that says our key space is ready. Next thing what we have to do is we can alter the key space. Say suppose I want to change the replication factor to 2. I can alter it by running an alter command like this, alter key space VIT with replication is equal to, and then we have to mention the class as simple strategy, and we'll mention the replication factor as 2. This is the updated version, end it with a semicolon. So now we can go and see the key space. It will be updated as it follows a simple strategy, and the replication factor is 2, which means that the data will be replicated across 2 nodes within the data center. We can also view all the key spaces that we have created. For that, we have to use this command describe key spaces. So that shows all the key spaces we have created. For now, let me go and drop this key space VIT. We can also delete a key space. For that, we have to use the command drop key space VIT. So that key space is now getting dropped. Let me go and view all the key spaces here, describe key spaces. So now you'll see that VIT is no more part of the key spaces. So what I will do is I will just go and create this key space again, create key space VIT, since we are going to use this key space, and with the replication is equal to, then we have to give the class. The class is a simple strategy, and replication factor will be 2. Let's create this key space, and now our key space is ready. So key space is like a database, and it's going to hold a lot of tables. So we'll use this key space VIT. So for that, we have to say use VIT. So we are using this key space VIT. And now within this key space, I can go and create tables, the column family. So a key space can hold many tables. So how you create a table, the syntax is very similar like SQL syntax. So it's easy. Let me create an employee table with these fields, that is ID, name, and salary. ID is of type integer, name is of type variable length character, and salary is of type integer. So you have many data types in Cassandra. So we'll focus on some primary data types like integer, text, or variable length character. And we also have other data types like double float and things like that, which I've already shared in a slide. So now let's go and create this table called employee. And one thing that is important is whenever you create a table, you have to mention the primary key in the table, or else you're going to get an error. Let's create this table. Let's create a table employee, and we'll have the ID to be of integer and the name to be of a variable length character, and we'll have a salary column which is also of type integer. So now what I am missing here is I have not mentioned the primary key, which I should be, it's mandatory we mention the primary key as primary space key, and our table is getting created. So we can view this table by just giving DESE and then the table name employee, and you'll be able to see the columns created in the table. So that's how you create a table. And suppose you want to add another column to the table, say gender column I want to add to this table. For this I have to use the alter table command. Alter table, add the column name gender, and what is the type of this? Let's say this is of type text. So alter table, add column name and data type. Okay, I'm sorry, this is wrong because I'm missing the table name here. I'm sorry, it's alter table employee, add column name gender, and the type of gender is text. So we have added this column. We can go and describe this employee table. We'll be able to see this new column, a gender with the data type as text getting added. So we were able to add one particular column to the table. We can also remove that gender column, or we can remove any column. For that we have to do alter table employee, drop column name is gender. So now that particular column will be removed from the table. So very similar like SQL. So you see now this particular column gender got removed. So you can alter a table in Cassandra. You can add columns, remove columns, and do such things. Next thing is we'll insert a record into our employee table. We'll see how to insert. Again, the query is very similar like SQL. So it's insert into employee, and we have to mention the columns. So it is we have ID, we have name, and we have salary, and then we have to mention values. What values will insert? I'll insert ID to be 1 2 3. Since it is integer, no need to give it in quotes. Name, I'll insert my name Satish, and salary, let's say 20,000 integer value. So we are inserting a record here. And how to view this record? We use a select statement, select star from employee. So that's how you insert a record and then you view a record from the table. Now the next thing is, how can we select a record using a condition? For this we can use a where clause. Say select the employee with the ID 1 2 3. Even before that, let me insert another record, insert into employee. So it's ID, name, and salary, and values. What values we'll insert? We'll insert ID to be 1 to 4, name to be Ram, and salary to be some 30,000. So we are inserting some records here. Let's do a select star from employee. So this these are the records inside the table. Now let me filter it. Let me filter it using the ID. For that, let me do select star from employee where ID is equal to 1 2 3. So now I'll be able to retrieve only the records corresponding to Satish. Now you can ask me a question. What if I want to retrieve a record by using the name field? Yes, you can do that, but with certain conditions here. Select star from employee where name is equal to, say if I give Satish. Now this is not going to work because we don't have an index created on the name field. So if you want to still perform a retrieval using the name field wherein an index is not available, for this you have to go with select star from employee where name is equal to and Satish, and we have to give this allow filtering. We have to just allow filtering on a column without an index, so then it's going to work fine. So when you're working or retrieving fields using columns that doesn't have an index, please mention allow filtering. So the next question comes to us, how can we retrieve using multiple conditions where name is equal to Satish and salary is equal to 20,000? Can we do that? Yes, it's very simple. Select star from employee where name is equal to Satish and salary is equal to 20,000. So we can also select on multiple conditions. Here the issue is again we are retrieving on columns without an index, so we have to allow filtering. So now we are able to retrieve it using multiple conditions. Very simple, very basic, like all the SQL queries we have learned earlier. The next thing we are going to try and see is how to update a record, or how to update a record. For instance, I don't like Satish. I want to update the name Satish as say Mohan. How to update it? Simple update command. Update table name employee, set name is equal to say Mohan, and where ID is equal to 1 to 3. So in this case, this record will be updated. I can do select star from employee where ID is equal to 1 to 3. So you see now my get now my name got updated as Mohan. Yeah. So these are some of the simple update commands. We can also update multiple fields. Say I want to update Mohan back to Satish and salary to 2 lakhs instead of 20,000. How can I do that? I can do update employee, set name is equal to, I can set the name to Satish, and salary. Okay, update name equal to Satish, comma, I think it's comma, salary is equal to, say, I'll update it to some 2 lakhs now, and where ID we have to give ID is equal to 1 to 3. Yeah, now it is updated. Let's do select star from employee. So you'll be able to see now the data got updated for both the columns. So name is Satish and salary is 2 lakhs now. We have seen how to update any specific record within the table. Now let us see how to create an index on any specific column. We were able to search on the ID column because ID is defined as the primary key, and an index gets automatically built on a primary key column. But while we were searching on the name column, we had to mention allow filtering because there was no index defined on the name column. Now let us create an index on the name column. So it's create index. The name for the index is name underscore index on employee table. What is the column? That is the name column. So now we are creating an index on the name column. The index is created. We can perform a search using the name column. So it is select star from employee where name is equal to Satish. So now I'm able to search. I'm not giving allow filtering because I have an index defined on the name column. I can also drop the index by using the index name. What is the index name? It is name underscore index. Let's drop this index. Drop index. Index name is name underscore index. Now we are dropping the index. Okay, the index is dropped. If we perform a search like this, select star from employee where name is equal to Satish. Since we don't have that index, we are going to get this error and we have to mention allow filtering to execute this query. So that's about creating an index and dropping an index. Now let us see how to delete any specific row from the table. And for this we have to use the delete command, and in Cassandra we have to delete using only the primary key. So let's do a select star from an employee table. Let's delete the record for Rom here. So delete from employee where ID is equal to 1 to 4. So we have deleted that specific record. Suppose we are not happy with the table, we want to drop the entire table, we can also drop the table. And there's one more command. Say we wish to see all the tables within a key space. For that we have to use describe tables. So this will give us all the tables within this key space. So we are using the key space VIT, and I have created two tables here. Suppose I want to drop the employee table. How to drop it? I'll do drop table. Table name is employee. So that's how you drop a table from the database or the key space. Say we can also drop the key space. How can we drop the key space? You can say drop key space VIT. So that will drop the key space too. Let us understand the concept of sets in Cassandra. For this, we'll be taking a look at a simple demonstration. First, let me create a table by name employee. Create table employee. I'll have some three fields here. One is ID, which is the primary key. Next one is the name of text and phone number to be of integer. So I have three fields in this table. Now if I need to insert a record, insert into employee, and then what all columns are going to insert ID, name and phone number. I'll insert some values. Say now if I insert an ID, it's 123, and name, I'll give my name here Satish. Whereas if I want to insert a phone number, how many phone numbers I can insert here? I can just insert one number, say for instance, something like this. So that is what I can do when I declare phone number to be of data type integer. But when I declare phone number to be of data type that is called set, I can have multiple phone numbers inserted here. I can have many phone numbers associated with a set data type. And there are certain rules pertaining to set. A set will not allow duplicate values. So you cannot have duplicate phone numbers for an employee. And set will always return the result in the sorted order. So what is a set? A set helps us to have multiple values for a particular field. So here I can insert only one phone number because phone is of type integer. When I declare phone to be of type set, then you will see that I can insert multiple phone numbers here. The main property of set is it will return the phone numbers, or it will return the values in the sorted order, and it will not allow any duplicate values. So now let me drop this table, drop table employee. Let me make this phone number column as a set now. So again let me create table employee. I'll have ID integer to be of primary key and name to be of text, and here phone numbers, I'm saying phone numbers are a set of integers. So that's how you use the set data type here. That's it. So we have now created a table wherein we can hold a phone number that is nothing but a set. So what do you mean by a set? It can hold multiple values for this particular field. Let me insert a record and show you. Insert into employee. So ID, I'm going to insert name, and phone number, I'm going to insert values. So how we are going to insert the values? ID is say 123, name Satish, and say phone number. Now I have to give a set of phone numbers. I have to put some curly brackets. Say first number is 333, second number is 222, and final number is 555. So now I'm giving a set of phone numbers. You see the set is not ordered, and I can also have some duplicate values here. Again let me enter 222 and then close the set and close the parenthesis. Now what I am defining here is an employee is having a set of values associated with the phone number, and I'm entering some duplicate values, and the set is not ordered. So I've inserted it. Let me do a select star from employee. Now you see the result is displayed in the sorted order, and okay, so here this particular phone number was considered as a number 55222. That's why it didn't remove 222. Okay, let me add another phone number to this. Let me add another phone number to this, or let me create another employee record. Say insert into employee. Let's take this scenario. Say I'm going to insert ID, name, and phone number values. And say I'm inserting record for 124. Name is Ram. And now for Ram, we'll have a set of phone numbers. We'll include these curly brackets. Phone numbers can be 111 and 999, 888, comma, and then let me again give 111. So I am having a duplicate phone number here for Ram, and just to test this, I'm inserting this record. So record is inserted. Let me do select star from employee, where ID is equal to 1 to 4. So now when you take a look at Ram's record, you can see the values are in the sorted order, and the duplicate number 111 which was inserted was automatically removed. So set returns the results in the sorted order, and set doesn't allow duplicate values, and you can map multiple values for a particular field in a set. I hope you are very clear with this. So now we have some questions left. How we can update a value to this existing record? Say Ram gets another phone number. So how to add another phone number to the existing record, or how to remove an phone number from the existing record on a set? So we'll perform these operations now. So let me add phone number 666 to Ram's record. So for this I have to use the update command. Update which table employee set phone number. So we are going to set the phone number column is equal to phone number plus, and then in the brackets we have to mention the additional phone number we are going to add, that is 666. and we have to mention the ID where ID is equal to 124. So now we have updated the phone number. Let us select the record for Ram, select staff from employee where ID is equal to 124. Now you see I have updated that particular phone number for this particular employee with ID 124. Okay, so say I'm not happy with 111. I want to remove this phone number from Ram's record. How to perform that? Again, we go with an update employee set phone number is equal to. Now we are removing, so it's phone number minus and then that value that you want to remove inside curly brackets where ID is equal to 124. So now this will remove this particular phone number for Ram. Now we'll go and check that. Select staff from employee. You can see that particular phone number for Ram was removed. So that's how you work on sets. You assign elements to sets and you also retrieve elements. So you can also search a record using the value in the set. So I want to retrieve all the users whose phone number contains 222. I can search for a record like that. Let me search for it. Select staff from employee. Okay, when I am searching, the very first thing is I have to create an index on the column, right? So I have to create an index on the phone column before search. Let me say create index, that is called phone underscore index, on which table, that is the employee table, on which column, the phone number column. First we have to create an index because we are searching on a column which is not set as the primary key. Next we will perform a search. Bring me all the records of users whose phone number contains a 222 or whose phone number is a 222, right? So one of the phone numbers is a 222. That's the right way to put that one. So it is select staff from employee where phone, we have to use contains and then we have to give the value. So now you see the record of Satish has been written. If I want to bring the users who has a phone number 666, how will I do that? It is select staff from employee where phone contains 666. So that's how you can search on an set. You can use the contains clause and search on a set. You can remove or you can update a set. I hope you have understood the importance of sets in Cassandra. Now let us take a look at the next concept called lists. So what is a list? Say let me drop this employee table, drop table employee. Let me create this employee table again just for better understanding. Let us not complicate it with many columns. So let me clear screen. So create table employee and I can have ID as usual, the primary key, and name, text and phone number. Now I'm going to create phone number as a list, not a set. So how will you create phone number as a list data type? You give list and then you give integers. So it's a list of integers. So what does this mean? A set doesn't allow duplicate values, whereas a list allows duplicate values. A set doesn't maintain insertion order, whereas a list maintains insertion order. Otherwise, you're going to have multiple phone numbers attached to the employee, and you can add a phone number to the list, or you can delete a phone number from the list, or you can also search up a user by using the phone numbers from the list. The other operations remain the same, but the very important thing is lists allow duplicate values and they maintain the insertion order. So let me create this table. Let's see what is the output. Yeah, the table is created. Let's insert into employee table some value. So it's ID and name and phone number. We are going to insert values. What values will insert? Let me insert 123 and my name Satish. And now when I insert a list, I have to use the square brackets. And I can give the phone numbers here. Let me give 333, again let me give 333 and then 555 and then 222. Say now the list is not actually sorted and we are having some duplicate values. That is very important. That's what we have to note here. And let me do a select staff from employee. So you can see the list allows duplicate values and it is not sorting the output, right? So it's not sorting, it is maintaining the insertion order. So you can have a list of values attached to the phone, and what are the key things? Duplicate values are allowed and it is maintaining the insertion order. Now we are going to see how to update this list. Say we can add a number to this list or delete a number from the list. We'll see how to do that. Say let me add number 666 to this list of phone numbers. For this we have to use the update command, update employee set phone number is equal to phone number plus in square brackets you give the number that you want to add and where ID is equal to 123. So now I'm updating the list. Let's go and select star from employee. Let's verify this. Yes, the number got updated. You can also delete this number from the list. Only thing is you give a minus here. Same thing like what you have done in sets, right? So let's delete it. Update employee uh, set phone number is equal to phone number minus that particular value. Give a square brackets while you're working with lists where ID is equal to 123. So now that is done, let's do a select star from employee. So you see that number got removed from the list. We can also search using lists. For instance, bring me the employee whose phone number has got a 555 in it. Let's search for it. So it's nothing but select star from employee where phone contains. You have to use the contains keyword and give the value. So now it's going to fetch me the employee record, but now it's giving me a warning. Why so? Because we are searching on a column which is not having an index built on it. So very first thing is we have to build an index. So let's build this index, create index uh, phone and number underscore index on the employee table on the phone number column. So this is an index I'm building on the phone number column. And once when the index is built, we can do a search, select star from employee where phone contains 555, right? Okay, so now we are able to search it. So the very important thing we should never forget is while you are searching on a column which is not the primary key, we need to build the index. So I have built the index called phone number on the phone number column here, and that's why I was able to search it. So that's how you work with lists on Cassandra. I hope you are clear with sets and lists. In this session, we'll be taking a look at maps in Cassandra. We'll understand what is a map. For this, let us take a very simple example. Let me create a table of an employee, and we'll have some fields here. ID, which is of integer and it is the primary key, and we'll have name to be of text, and we'll have address. So now address, I'm going to say it's a map. So it contains many key value pairs. For instance, an employee can have an home address and an office address, right? So here home plus address, that is a key value pair, and office plus address, that is another key value pair. So you can very well store key value pairs using map dataset. So it is we just give text comma text. So the key and the value will be of type text in my map data structure. So let me create this table. A table is created. Let us insert a record, then you will understand. So it is insert into employee. What all values I'm going to insert? It is ID, name and address. So we are going to insert all these columns. Values, ID I'll insert 1, 2, 3, name is Satish, and now I have to insert the key value pairs. For this I'm going to start a curly brackets and then I'll say home address is US, and we have another key value pair. Now comes the office address. Office address is say UK. So that's how you insert a key value pair in the table. Now we'll do a select star from employee. You see this address column is defined to contain a map, that is a key value pair. It holds key value pairs. So here home is US and office is UK. So that's how you create a map. The next thing that comes to our mind is how to update a map, how to insert a value in the map, or how to delete a value from the map. Let's try and see that. So it is update employee set address is equal to address plus then we have to give the value wanted to add. Say I will give say there's a vacation address too for me. So vacation, that will be on Vellore. So where you have to give the id is equal to 123. So now I'm updating this map to hold another key value pair. So when I do select star from employee, so you can see I have updated this home, office, vacation is to be below. So we can hold many key value pairs in a map. That is the concept here. Now, what if I have to change the vacation from Vellore to something else? Vellore is a boring place to have vacation. So let me change Vellore to something else. Say I'm going to vacation somewhere else. Let's say um, update employee set address is equal to address plus, and then now I'm going to change my vacation address, so I'll just give vacation as the key, and then now I'll say vacation I'm going to Italy, where ID is equal to 123. Let's hope the vacation gets updated. Let's do select star from employee. Now you can see my vacation address got updated. Okay, if I want to remove a particular address, how will I remove it? Say I want to remove this vacation. I don't have any vacation at all. So how to remove that? For that, what you have to do is update employee set address, and then in square brackets you give vacation the key is equal to null. So when you perform this, okay, here the problem is I have to give the ID, right? So this is where ID is equal to, we should always give the primary key also, where ID is equal to 123. Now when I do select star from employee, you can very well see the address corresponding to vacation, this key value pair vacation has been removed from my map. So that's how you perform operations on a map, and there are other operations too which we'll be taking a look at. For instance, okay, we have to see how to search on the map data structure. For this, the very important thing is we need to create an index on the address column. So create index, we'll say address underscore index on employee tables address column. So let me first create an index, and now I want to search, say address contains US. I want to search all the employees whose address contains US. How can I search that? I can do select star from employee where address contains US. So since US is a character, I'll just give it in quotes. So now I'm able to retrieve that.